setting the warm tone for this beautiful gathering today. My wife, Lalita, joins me today. She's my enabler and witness of my growth as a scholar. She ensures every step of the way that my global reputation is intact. Just kidding. I'm her official chauffeur and driver, but she's the one who drove me today. Here, thank you. Lalita and I felt incredibly welcome and thrilled to be in this space filled with love, energy, passion, and legacy. I also want to pause a moment and congratulate Dan and Leah on the Faculty Director of the Year Award. The 2026 Winter BUAD Harris Program. I heard about that. It's exactly the kind of bold, field-based global learning that reminds all of us why we do this work. I just love experiential and immersive learning. Director Amira, well done. And thank you for inspiration. Now, on behalf of the Star Scholars Network, I'm deeply honored to accept the 2026 CZPS Global Partner of the Year Award. Thank you for this beautiful recognition. But let me tell you something before I say thank you, okay? Let me say why this award matters to me personally. This award is as much his as it is ours. I'm here today because Dr. Ravi Amigar invited us into this partnership. And that invitation was not a courtesy, it was a collaboration. It was a gesture of a scholar and a leader who believes that the field grows when we build together rather than apart. Ravi, thank you. This award belongs to this partnership you've made possible. And I want to acknowledge the person at Star Scholars Network who has been working most closely with Ravi, Dr. Krishna Vista, CEO of Star Scholars Press. Krishna is the one who shows up, follows through, and makes sure the ideas that we talk about in the conference rooms actually become books themselves and articles in journals. Dr. Vista, your work is seen and it is celebrated today. If you have a copy, can everybody wave the book? This is a tribute to Dr. Vista. Thank you, Dr. Vista. Now, I want to take a moment to do something I genuinely enjoy. I would brag about Ravi. Most of you in this room know him as Vice Provost for Global Engagement. I want to make sure you know the other Ravi, the scholar, the thought leader, the writer. Dr. Amigan has authored more than 50 peer-reviewed journal articles. Let that number set up for a moment. On international student affairs, intercultural learning, and global strategy. 50, while leading a major international office in one of the most globally engaged universities in the country. And if that were not enough, he has co-edited half a dozen books and counting, works that span civic engagement through Mandela Washington Fellowship, navigating COVID-19 on global campuses, supporting international students in U.S. higher education, and the very book we are celebrating today. And with a forthcoming volume on student-centered internationalization from Rutgers, he shows no sign of slowing down. His scholarship, much of which has been published through Star Scholars books, does not simply describe the field. As a publisher, I would say, it shapes the field. It informs institutional policy. It gives practitioners like everyone in this room a framework and researchers a foundation. It is the kind of work that quietly changes how universities think about their international mission worldwide. The University of Delaware is fortunate to have Dr. Ravi Amigan, and so it is my honor to introduce you to the book, which you already have seen. The book captures something that data alone can never capture. 100 years of study abroad, reflections from university students, alumni, faculty, and staff. And I want to speak directly to the faculty directors in this room for a moment, because this book was written in no small part for you. You are the architects. You are the ones who design the experiences, who fight for the funding, who stay up at night worrying about the student who is struggling in a city they have never been to before. You're the ones who know better than anyone that study abroad is not a travel program, it is a transformation program. And yet, how often does anyone stop to ask, what was it like for you? What did you carry home from those experiences? What changed in you when you watched a student step off the plane, a different person than the one who boarded it? This book asks that question, and it answers it in the voices of students, alumni, faculty, and staff who lived. This is not just a textbook. This is not just a policy brief. This is something rare and something more powerful. This is a book of witnesses. There are people who went, who packed their bags, arrived somewhere unfamiliar, somewhere that did not yet feel like home, and decided to stay anyway, to learn anyway, to grow anyway. And in the growing, they were changed. We talk a great deal in our field about learning outcomes, competency frameworks, and intercultural communication rubrics. And those things matter. I will not dismiss them, but let me ask you something. When was the last time a competency rubric made you weep? When was the last time a learning outcome made you call your mother and say, I understand you now. I finally understand. That is what study abroad does, and it does not just expand your resume, it expands your soul. The University of Delaware was a remarkable institution, home to the nation's first study abroad program, now more than a century old. That is not just institutional history, that is a century of human stories. A century of courage, curiosity, culture shock, and growth. And this book gives those stories the dignity that they deserve. The student voice matters, the faculty voice matters, and the staff voice matters. Because this work, your work in this room, is not built by institutions alone. It is built by people. One courageous decision at a time. I myself came to this country as an international student. My wife Lalita would tell you the perspectives. I know what it feels like to land in a new place and wonder whether you will. And I have spent my career studying, publishing, celebrating what happens when institutions and the dedicated people within them decide to make belonging possible. As a graduate student, I served as a student senator representing 17,000 plus graduate and professional students at the University of Florida. And as a mayor of a university village, I hung lights, staged fashion shows, and celebrated cultural festivals from around the world. That experience was the crucible where my appreciation for international education was brought out, I would say. And I know why the work of CCPS matters. And by now you know exactly why I appreciate the work of Dr. Ravi Amigan. That is the work of every faculty director in this room. And when we do it together, that is when the field moves forward. So today, I stand here grateful for this award, for this partnership, and for this book, because all three represent the same one truth. When we invest in global learning, we invest in a more just, more empathetic, and more connected world. We're honored to walk this road with you. We're honored to publish your stories. And we're honored 100 years in to be still dreaming about what comes next.